It is often called the cruelest of diseases. ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, attacks a person's muscles but leaves the mind sharp. A local family knows all too well how the disease quickly changes a life. The Weber family of 9 brothers and sisters lost their father to the disease. Today, 3 of the 9 siblings have been diagnosed with ALS. Cindy Escueda, Jim Weber, and Peggy Dreesen. Peggy and Jim are here today, along with Carolyn Young from the ALS Association, the Wisconsin chapter. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
Peggy, it's good to see you. It's been a while.
Yes, it has been.
Peggy and I met back in 2009, and you had already been diagnosed a few years earlier.
7 years. When I met with you, I'd already had it 7 years.
So you've been living with ALS for a long time, which isn't always the case, right? Yours was kind of a slower onset?
Mine is a very slow progressing ALS, where in a lot of cases a sporadic move very quickly within 2 to 3 years.
Now, we have video from when we first met, and at the time you had a special bed to help you, just to be able to get in and out of it. I remember that. We have video of you gardening with your sister, because the first thing to go were your arms. Is that right?
Yes, correct. And I've lost total use of my arms, and my neck and my voice are affected now, and my legs are about 35% weaker, so I use my wheelchairs a lot around the home.
And a couple of years later, Mark Leland paid a visit to you at home in Kaukauna, and you had a new computer. Do you use that, and why do you use it?
I use my eye gaze probably about 3 hours a day. It is my communication device to the other people suffering with ALS. We chat, and the outside world, my friends, my family, keeping up with the news, and I can Facebook on there and go into everything a normal person can.
Knowing your family and hearing your story and all the support that you've had over the years, then we find out later that 2 more siblings, Jim yourself, diagnosed with ALS, and also Cindy, your sister. What were your first symptoms, and what went through your mind when you thought, oh no, me too?
First symptoms were in June. I'd had a surgery, and I was recovering from a surgery, and I was out working in the yard and wasn't able to pull the saws back and forth with cutting limbs off a tree. And you know, you pretty much know, we've been through it with our dad. I've seen Peggy go through it. So you pretty much know what it is right away.
You're a former Marine.
Yes.
A Marine is always in charge. And I read your story in this magazine. We showed one of the pictures from that regarding your story about ALS, that it was hard for you to know that you couldn't be in control of everything.
It's a challenge on that side. You know, like last weekend, we're rebuilding right now with some things around the yard from the storm damage that came through the tornadoes. Peggy and us both got hit by that. And so we're rebuilding decks and stuff right now, and it's hard to sit back and watch somebody else do the work when you're used to being involved.
You have so many siblings, you have children, there's grandchildren, there's this huge family. Are they all just so supportive, and how does the family get through this?
We are blessed with...
I don't want to make you cry, Peggy. I know, you're so blessed. And there's just so many pictures, too, that the family, they get together and they raise money for awareness and research. And Carolyn, let me bring you in here now. There are support groups for people with ALS, and also this walk coming up that Peggy and Jim and their family are going to be a part of. Let's talk about that.
It's so important for advocacy, and part of the advocacy program is the program development, and walks like the one coming up Saturday at Memorial Park in Appleton is just paramount to being able to provide services for our families with ALS. They have support groups. We have one starting in Green Bay on the 9th of October. There's a wonderful clinic in Milwaukee at Frederick Hospital. That's an ALS certified clinic where the doctor and the multidisciplinary team gather to provide all the information that a newly diagnosed family or someone who is just kind of going along at a different stage needs to hear.
And it makes a difference because you're walking to raise money and awareness, but that money is going to help fight ALS, look for a cure, and find these, you know, like these computers that help people like Peggy talk. So thank you so much for sharing your story. I hope that you get a chance to meet Peggy and Jim and Cindy and their extended family at the Walk to Defeat ALS. It's this Saturday, the 28th, and you'll be there.
At Memorial Appleton Park.
Yep, at Memorial Park in Appleton. We'll put all that information on our website, fox11online.com. Thanks again.